Russia seems to have been a relatively influential military power historically, but not an efficient one. Now, you point to the role of geography, but it's almost, and correct me if I'm wrong, but sort of imagine the potential Russia could have as a military power if it didn't rest on its laurels of just its geography. Because what I see is a country that is quite dysfunctional in its in the relationship of state to the military, or the relationship of the security services and the military. And if they could refine it, introduce some of the doctrines that the West has said, not that the West is perfect in every sense, but in the just historically, the Soviets were quite unwilling to adjust, as we saw in Afghanistan in the 80s, right? So is it just a case of that Russia doesn't think it needs to change? Is it a hubris? Is it a sense of too big to fail kind of mentality? Is it just Putin's ineptitude? What is the factor that keeps Russia from sort of realizing that they need to modernize, if that makes sense, in both physical and mental approach to military?
Well, I'm certainly not a Russia expert, but I listen to Russia experts like Gary Kasparov and others in that sort of category, who Professor Timothy Snyder, who highlight the fact that Russia only changes after defeat. And so until Russia is defeated, I mean, crushed on the battlefield, then I don't see it changing, because there are too many people at the top that are happy or invested in the status quo. I mean, they're incredibly wealthy through corruption. They don't invest a lot in making life better for the average Russian. They certainly don't give a damn about their soldiers. So I don't see it changing until they are defeated.
Fair enough. Now, one thing that happened in the past couple of days, I think it was early yesterday, actually, a Russian Shahed drone struck the Chernobyl central spent. Hang on, I got it here. Centralized spent nuclear fuel storage facility. That's quite a name. What does this tell us about Russia's priorities if they're continuing to strike things which have a just net risk to everybody, not just obviously proportionate?
Another great question. I think what we see, first of all, there's a culture at play here that there's too many times they hit targets that are right by or next to things that should not be hit, whether it's an apartment building across the border in Romania, or in Poland, or Latvia, or else something that gets too close to a nuclear power plant. And so I don't know if this is coming from, the general staff in Moscow saying that's approving specific targets. I doubt it. It's probably broad guidance. But, the West, you're right, we're not perfect. But when there are rules in place to minimize the chances of ever hitting a hospital or a school or a mosque or any kind of target like that, because of it's illegal, but also because of the negative effects on the overall campaign. I think for the Russians, it seems to me to be more decentralized in who picks what targets. But obviously they don't get very strict. They don't have strict controls to make sure nothing comes within 10 kilometers of, Chernobyl or Zaporizhia or anything like that. It doesn't seem to me that they are so concerned about the outcome, which, by the way, would be terrible for their own people. I think that actually doesn't matter. Now, it could be their stuff is just not that good. I mean, that it's not so precise. But I think the lack of controls on their targeting is going to backfire on them.